Welcome to the Women in Leadership Body, Mind, Soul, and Business podcast. I'm Charlie.
And I'm Heather. Together, we are working to connect women in leadership and business to build relationships, empowering each other, improving the health and wellness of our community, body, mind, and soul, sharing the heart and soul of who we are and what we do.
We are going to do things a little bit differently today. Both Heather and I have been on our own health journeys, and today we are going to talk about just that. When both of us have lost over 170 pounds each, and we have learned a lot along the way. And we've gathered some tools and community members with us to help support us along the way as well. And so we want to share some of what we learned with you.
I'm so excited today. We have a couple of really amazing community members, women in my community that I've had the joy of going on this wellness journey with. As I introduce you, would you please let the audience know how long you've been working on your own health and wellness journey and how long you've been helping others? Our first guest you've met before. She's kind and honest and always uplifting those around her. Welcome back, Angela Wallace.
Hi, everybody. Thank you guys for having me again. I'm excited to talk about it. My journey probably started in the last almost 2 years ago, really focusing on my health and wellness, my mind, my physical body, just kind of weight loss, everything. I was struggling pretty bad with chronic aches, tired all the time, gained a bunch of weight. And I had started finding supplements that were helping me, along with a community of people that I didn't even know I needed in my life till I found them.
Right.
And how impactful that really was, and kind of piecing it all together, along with, trying to eat better, trying to, exercise, trying to get better sleep, kind of everything just kind of started falling into place, as it needed to, finding the good supplements that really were helping me and finding the tools that I needed. And like I said, finding that community that really helped my mental health. When I really started with this, it was the beginning of the pandemic, and could have been easily the loneliest time ever that I could have gotten got worse than I already was. And it was probably been the last couple best years that I've had in these last couple of years. So it's been really good. It's been helping me now when I do even, we all still get in those low times, especially with our mental health. And I think a lot have been going through it. A lot go through it through the holidays, through the winter months. But I find with the tools that I've learned and that I use, I'm able to pull myself out of it a lot better. Last week, I really just focused on my own self-love, just my own thing. I mean, I went out, got a pedicure with a friend, got, lunch, went and did all the things, just some retail therapy last week, and dinner with a friend on Saturday night. Like, I just really did me. Like, I just kind of needed that to pull away to, recharge myself, and at one time in my life, I would have never done that. I would have never taken the time for myself like that. I would have thought, oh my gosh, that's selfish of me, especially being a single mom. It should always be about my kids. And I've learned over the years how important it is to make myself that priority, because if I'm not, then I'm no good to my kids. And just by taking those couple days here and there last week has made a difference for me this week. Yesterday, I was super productive doing things at home. Today, I felt good all day long. Like, it's just taking that little bit of time for myself made a huge difference. But again, it was tools that I've learned and things that I've done to get me there in my whole overall health wellness, doing the right things that I know now to help me through it, to feeling better.
Absolutely. And we're going to get a little deeper into each of our journeys here in just a few minutes.
But we want to introduce our next guest. Please say hello. Oh, I skipped ahead. I got lost. Our next guest is a hardworking, beautiful soul that has worked hard to renew her health. Just like the rest of the ladies on this panel, she is a very kind-hearted person. Please welcome Marianne Dexter.
Hello. Thank you for inviting me. First of all, I'm honored. My journey, actual real journey, really was a year ago. Um, but about 6 years ago, I had some declining health. But I was a caretaker. My mother was in the process of dying, and so I was all consumed with her. I was running back from one state to another because I still had a kid at home, and he was in high school, and so I wasn't taking any time for me. Any free time, it was like run home to see my kid, then immediately run back and stay with my mom. So my mom passed, and things were getting better, and then tragically my daughter was murdered, and that was the end. My sugar became unstable, um, and I wasn't eating, and I couldn't understand. And the doctor's like, "We've got to eat," and I'm like, "I'm in the 500s, and I haven't eaten in 3 days," And so they tried me on medicines. I eventually ended up on insulin, and when they put me on insulin, I was sick all day long. Um, I had problems with my stomach. Just everything made me nauseous. They were giving me enzyme pills, and I said, "This can't happen." And then they put me on another kind of insulin, and even with my insurance, that was 900 something a month, just one medicine. And I was like, "Holy cow! I'm spending $1,000, and I feel like crap." And I started getting neuropathy, and I said, "I've got to do something. I've got to find something." And out of a fluke, um, I took some time off, and I'd never taken off from my kids. I've never even had a vacation with my husband, with my kids not being there. So I had to take some time off. I had to decompress, and I never really had resolved what was going on with my daughter, my mom, because I went from one thing to another, and stopped at a vendor in Pennsylvania, and saw this stuff, and girl told me it was gonna work, and whatever. I was like, whatever. She gave me a free sample. Came home, and I was so sick one day, and I said, "Let me try this stuff," and I tried it, and of course, I took my blood sugar, and I was like, "I am 92." I was like, "Okay," and so that's where it started, and that's how I met Angela, and that's how I met Heather, and it went from there. And of course, then I had to pivot, and some changes came along, and but I still stayed with my health, and I still use the products. I'm not so much into whatever works and whatever I believe in and I have faith in is what I want to help others. How I get there, you know, is that so and that's been my journey. And but there was a lot of recovery, a lot of especially the mental side. Physically I thought that I was bad. I did not know mentally how bad I was and how I, for a year, well maybe two, I shut down from people because of what had happened to my daughter, and so I had to mentally recover from that, and and I'm still in the process of trusting people. Um, it's because I've learned how cruel humanity can be, and so it's taken me a while to get that back, and I can't judge everybody, but it hurt.
Mhm. Oh yeah, yeah. And what's really interesting about all of our journeys is that I think we all came from this place of pain and said, you know what, enough is enough, we're done.
Yeah.
And we had to make that decision. We had to decide that things were going to change. And the only person that needed to change it was us. Like it was up to us.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Absolutely. Speaking of things that need to be changed, our suture topic this week is obstacles that distract. And it's interesting how many challenges are being thrown this way and distractions are being thrown this way this week.
It's so true. When you focus on something, that's what you see the most of. And I just like today, I just made me laugh. Like, okay, we have more obstacles. Of course we do. Like,
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about this week. And our mindset around how we're going to get over them. So when you're thinking about your health and wellness, there are so many things that can distract you from your goal. I remember when we were just eliminating sugar, and the commercials my son would see on YouTube would like trigger him, be like, Mom, I'm doing okay. And then they showed me a soda commercial, like, you know, like, so there's obstacles everywhere. So,
and the food that is not necessarily healthy for you is the easiest most of the time,
right.
Yeah.
right?
And
It's
not even
easy.
And not even
There's more
that-
prep involved with healthy food. There's more work to it. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the quality of our healthy food is less than it used to be as well.
Yeah.
So a healthy, balanced diet supplies the body with sufficient nutrients to carry out routine tasks. Supplements such as vitamins, minerals, essential fatty acids, and phytochemicals and more enrich the body's internal environment to fortify cellular protection, repair, and regeneration, and support and renew the process. So in a perfect world, right? In the perfect world where your body can take in the nutrients that you're giving it, use them all the way it's supposed to, you know, we may not need supplements.
Right. But the reality is we need supplements. Those of us who live up here in the Pacific Northwest, it is very common to have vitamin D, especially in the wintertime because it's always gray. Well, I can't say always.
As we got some
Usually
sunshine
gray and
peeking through today.
cloudy. Winters are very, very bleak and kind of depressing around here. And so it is very, very common for people
It rains
to
in the
take
fall and the spring.
and
Yeah.
second spring. And you know, it's just that vitamin D supplement helps raise your vitamin D levels that get so depleted when it's so gray and dreary out. So make sure you guys are taking your vitamins.
So I thought we would enter into more of a panel style discussion. And we would we have 3 questions that we'll each answer. So we'll start with Angie and Angela, and then go to Marianne, and then Charlie, then myself. So Angela, what led you to supplements? That's our first question. Life happens, you know, we are moms first, no matter how hard we try to eliminate obstacles and distractions.
Literally, as soon as I went to talk, they're knocking at my door. Mom.
Speaking
Nope.
of obstacles that distract,
Right. It's like, that's
Exactly, they're little
perfect.
ones.
See?
Little people.
So
I'm
the-
sorry. Could you read?
Absolutely. What led you to trying supplements? What led you to taking supplements in the first place?
I've always wanted things, you know, more natural as I could get them. You know, I had even taken other, you know, supplements, and I tried different ones, and I was on medications, prescriptions medications as well, but I just wasn't feeling good. I still just felt lousy all the time, mentally, physically, everything. And then, you know, it was trying out different things to finally find what worked for me. But yeah, I was sick of feeling just crappy being on prescription medications and having to keep altering them because they only work for so long, and then we have to switch them up again or increase the dosage, and you just felt lousy. And so, you know, there's a lot of supplements out there, and, you know, it took me a little while to find the right ones that really worked, you know, for my body. But when I did, it made all the difference in the world.
How about you, Marianne? What led you to trying supplements?
Well, diabetic, first of all, you can't eat grains that much, but you have to have fiber. and fruits, you know, the sugar from fruits. So, and I was a fruit girl. I would eat cantaloupe, honeydew, bananas all the time, and so that sort of got limited, and um, so I, started supplementing those the best I could, and then age, they started D3, and then they told me about folic acid, and I was like, I don't need folic acid. I'm not having babies anymore, but so I needed
Right, they do,
folic
you
acid.
do associate that, right? A lot of women's health is centered around
Yeah,
if you're gonna give birth again.
Mhm.
yeah, and I was like, ain't happening here. But so I was already taking them, but I felt like I had a drugstore, with all the supplements I was taking, and then they told me my chromium was low and vitamin K, and I was like, I've never even heard of half these things. So I had to find something to streamline that just wouldn't just discombobulate me. Um, and in the process, I got off insulin, so it was worth the route I went. That's one thing I can say. It was worth it going supplemental wise. And then I think everybody was mentioning how to eat healthy. You gotta look for sugar-free food that and fibers you can eat. That stuff's expensive.
Mhm.
That stuff's expensive, and so and my son's real health conscious too. So, and if you've ever heard of Magic Spoon cereal, like you have to buy it in a variety pack for like 4 boxes. It's $46. I mean, that's expensive.
Mhm.
It really makes you think about like how much you're eating too. Like
Mhm.
you're not gonna just sit down and eat an entire box of cereal if it costs you over $10 for the box of cereal, right? Like a little tiny bit, let's go space it out.
Measure it out.
Right? Like
Mm.
sometimes you're like pocketbook,
Right.
ouch. How about you, Charlie?
Well, okay, first I started my journey with looking at how much I was eating, right?
Mm.
And really getting under my portion control because the fact of the matter was I was overeating. I started my journey 7 years ago now, and over about 2.5 years, I lost about 175 pounds, and I've been able to maintain that weight loss. I was pushing 400 pounds. I'm happily sitting at 220 pounds right now. It is a very good weight for me and my body structure. Um, and I'm comfortable where I'm at. I don't feel like I'm starving, and I don't feel like I'm neglecting my cravings either. I can manage that now where before I couldn't. But what led me to supplements was energy.
Mm.
I was eating right. I had portion control under control. I was losing weight, but I still did not have the energy I needed to get through my day. I would take midday naps because I was exhausted. And at first I thought maybe I was tired because I was working out to help gain, build my muscle strength, core strength, and things like that, along with losing weight. But I was just tired all the time. And a friend of mine um, called me and she's like, "Hey, Charlie, I started using these supplements, which is a totally different brand than what you guys have been using, um, and shakes and things like that. And I feel really great." And she was a lot smaller than me to begin with. But for her body and her body structure, she was still uncomfortable with the weight she did have. So she lost probably about 45 pounds
That's significant.
in about 6 months. And she, you know, did it basically the same way that I was doing it, but with the addition of these supplements, she had energy and she could keep going, and I was like, I need to try this because the energy is good and maintaining the weight loss and things like that, I need to keep going. So I started taking supplements and I felt really, really better. Now, granted, fast forward, here I am, 5 years later, and I forget to take my supplements all the time, but I'm trying to get back in the habit of taking them again right now. And I remembered to take them this morning, and I remembered to take them this weekend, and my energy today is it's a clear mental energy. I don't feel like I've had 6 cups of coffee. I'm not jittery, but I feel like I have enough energy to keep moving until probably about 9 o'clock tonight, and then I'll probably crash and
Oh, wait, go to bed at a normal time?
yeah, go to bed at a normal time.
Who does that?
I try to go to bed by 10 o'clock every night. Doesn't always happen, but a girl can dream. What about you?
Well, I grew up, my grandma's house, she had those those photo boxes you would put that kind of looks like a shoebox that you would put your old photos in. She had one of those, and that every Sunday she would sit at the table and she'd put vitamins in our little thing. So that was normal for me because she read articles that it was good to take supplements. So we took supplements. Well, I noticed that, after I moved out, and the supplements, I didn't always feel good when I took them. So I kind of just stopped taking them for a while, and I'd be like, oh, I'll try this new one. That didn't really make me feel any better. Oh, I'll try that one. Oh, it didn't make me feel any better. So I had kind of given up on supplements for a while. And then I was just so sick with my abdominal hernia life that I landed in the hospital again. And I was like, I have to try something new. And that's when Angela and I met. And it just was so life-changing because I was able to actually absorb the nutrition. So if you don't know this, when you have the hard packed pills, they just kind of go through your system. So finding a different avenue is sometimes difficult and it's hard, and you got to try things to see what works with your body. And
everybody's body works differently. Some of them like those hard packed pills because their body needs to filter it a little bit more. Others do well with the rapid CRT technology. It's the water molecule technology.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that works great too.
Yeah. So because I had started my journey, it was before that. So Angela, that was like a year and a half ago, wasn't it? It was a couple of years before that. I had started my journey because I was diagnosed with diabetes. And I was on so many medications. I didn't make it to insulin because I was able to control the diabetes with my diet, but I was still on a lot of the medications that are for diabetes. And if you don't know this, congratulations, you don't have diabetes. But if you have diabetes, you know that when you got diagnosed, the doctor hit that you're diagnosed with diabetes. And then the next thing the computer does is go, you need all of these medications. And it's like, you go to the pharmacy and you're like, whoa. Okay. So now we have a new adventure. So by supplementing and getting nutrition that my body could actually absorb, I was able to get off of those medications too. I think I'm only on one medication, and with my family's heart history, I'm not too worried about staying on a medication that's going to keep my heart happy for a little while. So it's not one that's really causing me any side effects right now.
Right.
So,
well, if you guys are interested in different types of supplements, talk to your doctor, talk to your naturopath, figure out what your body needs and go from there. That's a really great place to start.
And we're always willing to have that conversation. Angela, Marianne, myself, Ethan, Charlie is willing to have that conversation with you to help you even ask the right questions.
Sometimes even asking your doctor, asking your naturopath or whoever the right questions can totally change the outcome.
If we go around and ask more of these questions, we will never get done today.
I know.
That's crazy. We
So-
have so much to share.
We do have so much to share.
Ah,
So ladies, really, really quick, what is one physical health improvement you've seen and one mental health improvement that you've seen with supplements? Angela?
Physically would be my kind of aches and discomfort more under control. I used to just kind of have just these chronic just aches all over my body, where it was just hard to function day to day, and taking care of 2 kids by myself, and that's gotten a lot better. And mentally and even my energy as well, because I used to struggle with my energy as well. I used to have to take naps too, and now I can stay up all day and function. And then mentally my mood is much better, and I know I can, even if I get in those low points, I can turn it around much faster and easier than I used to be able to.
Thank you, Angela. Marianne, what is the biggest changes you've seen mentally and physically?
Well, I'm off insulin. I'm only on one medicine now. I think
so awesome.
he still wants to keep me. I've had 2 A1Cs, but he still wants to keep me on. He keeps saying I might take you off the next time, but so we'll wait. So that's one thing. I'm off insulin. But when you feel better mentally, you can cope with things better. When you are so sick and your body hurts, and it's very hard. Everything I think gets exaggerated. So once some of that came down, it alleviated a lot of my stress and so it affected my mental health, and so I'm in a lot better place than I was a year ago. It's like a full 360.
That's so awesome.
That's awesome.
So
Thank you
awesome.
for sharing.
Can I just say real quick too, because Marianne, one of my favoriteest things was watching your diabetic wounds heal. Like seriously, that was so cool. Like you physically could see your health improving. Like
That's so
as your
awesome.
inside got better, your outsides got better. That was so cool.
It all shines through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just got
Because
goosebumps.
that store was there for over a year and a half. That store was there for over a year and a half, and they had done everything. They had done cultures and scraped it, and said there was a bacterial infection in the bone. And I was like,
Wow.
seriously, on my foot, and you know you're diabetic. First thing you think, amputation.
Right.
So they kept saying no, 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 but I was so paranoid. I was so paranoid about that.
It's terrifying.
Because the statistics of diabetes. Yeah, I think the last thing I read, like 24,000 people get a limb amputated every day due to diabetes. That's a lot of amputations going on.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
That is a lot.
Well, Charlie, your turn. What physical health improvement and mental health improvement?
Okay, so my main reason for losing weight was because my body hurt so much all the time. It hurt to carry that extra weight. I damaged my knees in the military. I could barely walk because I hurt so much. And, you know, I was honestly disgusted with myself. I looked in the mirror. I didn't like what I saw. I noticed I didn't really have any mirrors other than in my bathroom from like here up, right? You know, I didn't want to see I didn't want to face it, right? So I ignored it. And it got to the point where I actually saw a picture that my sister-in-law had posted on Facebook from her baby shower. And I saw myself in that picture and I was like, oh my fuck, what did I do to myself? This has to change. I like cried and like cried
That was
some
your
more.
aha moment.
It was my aha moment.
Mm.
And the biggest changes I've had with supplements is, like joint pain.
Mm.
My joint pain is way, way less than it used to be. And then also mental clarity. I can focus. I can think a little better. My ADHD and my OCD don't get the best of me anymore as much as they used to. It's a lot easier to not get as frustrated when I can think clearly.
Right.
So that was the biggest thing for me.
That's awesome. Well, health improvements I was super determined physically to not have gastric bypass surgery in order to heal my hernias, and we did it, you guys. Like I'm just so incredibly proud of that. And since surgery in September, since starting the podcast, because Angela is helping out while I was in the hospital, having that surgery, I just physically been so strong and so excited. Like I can bend over and do the laundry now, and that's super huge for me. Like bending over and putting dishes in and out of the dishwasher, able to do that, like it's so cool.
Bend, twist, carry.
Yeah, like
all new for you.
All new for me. Very, very exciting. And the mental health difference of taking quality supplements has been off the charts. I think that I know that the ones that we take also came with the community, and I think that was part of the pieces to it, is having a community of people that are going to support you and uplift you on a crappy day. You need that. Like, going to remind you of your tools, remind you how beautiful you are even though your kid just yelled at you,
remind you that you are enough.
Already
Just
already
you
enough.
are already enough.
Sorry, the sign's up here. You're already enough. Like,
I love that.
yeah. Yeah. So
thank you for sharing. And thank you all, ladies, also for sharing. I think it's really important for us to talk about these journeys because it happens in community. It doesn't happen by yourself.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The quote of the week is: opportunities to find deeper powers within ourselves come when life seems most challenging, by Joseph Campbell. And I think our health journeys were definitely most challenging. We all hit a spot where we were like, something has to change.
Yep. Something has to change. You have to decide. Upcoming events: the Empowered Woman this Wednesday night at 6 p.m. We'll have the information on our Facebook page, so go check out that networking group. We have Michelle Brown's Be Vital Now on Monday the 28th at 5:30. That information has also been posted in our Facebook page if you are interested.
5:30 Mountain Time.
5:30 Mountain Time.
And that is a free virtual event. So that's available to everybody. And Michelle's been on our podcast, and I know that I haven't been feeling the best, but the energy work that she showed us to do, I've been doing that every single day. And I know that I would not feel as good as I do right now with what I have going on if I haven't been showing up for myself in that way every day. So she's got some really amazing pieces of knowledge that she's willing to share for free. So you guys should check it out.
Absolutely. We have a website now, you guys, Women in Leadership, BSMB.com. Go check it out.
All right, our cause for the quarter for January to March is the Now Networking Group. It's important as women entrepreneurs that we are leading the way of giving in our community, and this networking group is just that, leading the way for young women's futures in our communities, helping them to overcome diversity, Please buy a ticket to their gala. It's on March 31st.
Whoop, whoop.
Very excited.
Thank you, Angela, and thank you, Marianne, for joining us today on our very first nutrition panel, our health and wellness panel. Haven't quite decided what we want to call it yet, but it's gonna be a thing, right? Thank you so much for joining us. We're so blessed to have you both.
Thank
And
you.
their links are already
Right.
dropped into the live chat, and their links will be in the description if you wanted to talk with them more, or if you related to their health and wellness journeys. They do help people along their own health and wellness journeys.
Thank you, listeners. We are looking forward to continuing to connect and build more relationships with more community leaders.
We're looking forward to you joining our table also. Namaste.
Namaste.